Hi, this is Leslie Turner with the Turner Group in Phoenix, Arizona, and thanks for joining me for episode 6 of A Real Talk about real estate. Today I want to talk about whether you should rent or buy and how to determine which is the right decision for you. The first criteria I'd use is your timeline. How long are you going to be in this house? If the answer is less than 2 years, if you know you have a move coming up out of state or you're going to transition to a different job that's further away, less than 2 years, I would definitely lean towards renting versus buying, because in a 2-year time frame, first of all, it is unlikely that appreciation will catch up enough to cover the expenses involved in selling a home. And secondly, if it's inside of 2 years, it will be subject to capital gains tax, any profit that you make on the house. So under 2 years, I'd lean toward renting. Over 2 years, I'd lean towards buying. Secondly, cash. You don't have much cash on hand. A lot of people think, oh, I don't have that much cash on hand and therefore I cannot buy a house, I have to rent. But you'd be very surprised to know that there are many loan products out there that give down payment assistance that can cover really your whole down payment. And if you couple that with closing cost assistance from the seller, there are many instances where you could actually get into a home that you're purchasing with less cash out of pocket than if you were going to rent. So that is something that you would need to have a realtor evaluate the market conditions and talk to a lender and understand what your mortgage options are. And at that point, you could decide whether or not the cash you have on hand is sufficient for renting and or buying. The next one is maintenance on a property. So if you own it, you have to take care of it. If things break, you're responsible for fixing them. So you have to have a budget for your home maintenance. And if you just don't even want the hassle of that, you can't even wrap your head around having to keep an AC running and if a window breaks, fixing it, that sort of thing, then renting is for you, because as a renter, it is the homeowner, the landlord, who is going to address any condition issues with the property for you. Next would be taxes. If you own a home versus renting a home, you get to write off your mortgage interest on your taxes every year. And if you know anything about mortgages, you will know that the lion's share of the monthly payment that you make is actually mortgage insurance or mortgage interest, not principal. So it's a pretty good chunk of change, and it's a pretty significant benefit to homeowners when they're doing their taxes at the end of the year to have that write-off. Also in the category of home ownership is you get to participate in the appreciation that occurs over time. Just being conservative of a 5% appreciation on an annual basis is kind of our benchmark here for Arizona right now. And if you own a home over 3 to 5 years versus renting a home, you're building equity every year in ownership. Whereas with renting, you're just paying out rent every month, and the guy who owns the house you're renting gets to build that equity. So those are the criteria used for determining whether renting or buying is right for you. I would strongly encourage anyone who's in the market to either rent or buy to investigate both of those options, because depending on market conditions, sometimes the rental market can be super strong where the housing market is just stable. And in those cases, it's going to be much more expensive to rent than it is to buy. And the same thing vice versa. If you have a super strong housing market, but the rental market is pretty soft, it'll be much less expensive to be in a rental. You just have to know what the market conditions are, know what your own personal circumstances are, and investigate your loan options to really know the answer for whether you should rent or buy a property. If you have any questions about renting or buying a property, you can always call us here at the Turner Group. Our direct line is 602-999-0809. Thanks for joining me for episode 6. I'll see you here next week.